Shalom, my friends. Welcome to this week's Walk in the Word. Man, it's a beautiful day. It's Friday. Let's see what time it is. It's 4:30, right on the nose. This watch is 100 years old. Made in Russia. It's a railroad watch. They had to be very accurate. The inner workings are the same as a Rolex. So anyway, I treasure it. And boy, I'm telling you, see if I can get a shot of the sky. It's just a beautiful blue sky with cumulus clouds, and you know, I guess you've noticed, my friends, the trees around here. These are all more than 60 years old. They were all planted here. No, forget me, I keep doing that. 1962, the apartment complex was built, and all these trees were planted. It's pretty amazing how spacious. I mean, look over there. The amount of lawn and, you know, space between the buildings. They would never do these kind of things today. It's a beautiful place to live. Plus, you know, I grew up maybe 6-7 miles away from here, so very familiar with these apartments. Been through here many times ever since, well, before I had my license. You know, my dad and I would take rides, and it's the main thoroughfare out there. We would always drive down through the apartment complex on our way to someplace or another. And wow, I mean, this is really a nice day. I don't think it's gonna last. My sister told me next week we're supposed to be getting some kind of an insane heat wave. So I don't know. Where am I with this? I want to share something with you that has to do with conflict, anger. Girls. I gotta get a shot of this. Can I take a shot of your car? A little promotion, free. Look at this. View a Miracle. ViewAmiracle.com. 4D ultrasounds. Ah, View a Miracle. Look at your baby. Speaking of babies, look at the guy inside.
Yeah, so you've never done the orientation? Yes. I started, we had like 2 because I did lifeguard orientation because they wanted me to do a few classes, like teaching classes. Yeah. But then
anyway.
One, so I had to do the whole orientation for that, and then play with the bus orientation.
Sweet.
Oh, really?
So, I don't know, can you see this card? FOP Newark.
Really?
The only national police order in these United States. States. You can't get this card except from the office of the President of the United States. And on the back you can see I'm an associate, Alan Horvath. This is from the Fraternal Order of Police, Newark, New Jersey. Well, what is Alan doing with that? All has to do with my youth, my friends. I have a friend that I've known since grammar school. We've known each other since, I don't know, maybe I was 12. And we're still good friends. We get together fairly frequently. We spend some time usually sitting down on my porch with some coffee. He works for the CIA, and if I ever want to know whatever happened to kids we grew up with, I can just ask Ed. He can get files on anybody. And you know, we grew up street gangs. You know, you had to learn really how to defend yourself physically with your fists. Certainly by the time you were 8 or 9 years old. And I know I did, you know, I was little, so I got picked on quicker and easier than most. But I also had a lot of friends. If you search on my YouTube channel, Alan's 13th birthday party, you'll see me at the age of 13 with all of my friends. You'll also see how tiny I was. I mean, you know, most of my friends in the video, same age as me, but you look at them, they look like they're 13. I look like I was 9. I was really tiny. And I gotta tell you, I've been noticing in these videos how thin my arms are. This is unusual, my friends. You'll see in a few months, if we're still here, my biceps will be filled back out. I've been on my back for, I don't know, 6-8 months, and I've noticed with my arms there's nothing there but bone, and the muscle is all shot. Anyway, you can see when I was little I was very skinny. Well, those friends of mine, they roughed me up, you know. They taught me how to fight. But there was just a lot of bad elements growing up. There was one kid I'll never forget. His name was Johnny Milchek. Platinum blonde hair. He had a haircut that they used to call the Chicago box. The top of his hair was a flat top, but the sides were long and they were combed back. Greased back. We used to use stuff called Brill Cream or Wild Root hair tonic. I know some of you right now are laughing. Anyway, Johnny was he was as small as me, maybe even smaller. But let me tell you, this kid had demons. I gotta talk to Ed and get the lowdown on what happened with Johnny Milchek, because man, he was like I said, he was maybe even smaller than me, but he had a jaw, looked like his face looked like it was carved out of granite. Teeth you couldn't miss. and a real attitude. For some reason, he took a liking to me. First time I met him, he threatened me. And I just looked right in his eyes, and I didn't back down. I developed a habit of doing that. And maybe he admired me for that. But this kid, met him, I was in the 9th grade. Now if you think back when you were in the 9th grade, compare yourself to seniors. Johnny, he was tiny for a 9th grader. He picked the biggest, toughest jock that was in the 12th grade and started threatening him over a period of weeks. At first the guy was just laughing at him. Not weeks, maybe it took a week of days. Finally, I think it was a Friday after school, Johnny came out. He confronted this 12th grader that was at least twice his size, twice his weight, and he put the guy in the hospital. The first time I met him, he punched me right here in the solar plexus, and I almost passed out. I couldn't believe the force. It was demonic. He was full of demons. I don't know what his problem was. I don't know what his relationship with his father was. This kid was a bad seed. And you know, it's all he ever wanted to do was just prove himself over and over again. Well, you know, he came to this school in the 9th grade, and he proved himself by, you know, taking the toughest senior in the school down, put him in the hospital. Fist fight. But this kid was just full of contention. Proverbs 26:21. Like wood is to a fire, so is a median man. Most Bibles will say a contentious man. Romans 2:8. Those who are median, contentious, do not obey the truth, but rather they obey unrighteousness, indignation, and wrath. Johnny Milchek lived to obey wrath. Man, I was walking downtown New Brunswick one day with my cousin Kenny, and I came upon Johnny Milchek, and he was with like 3 other kids. I won't say they were his friends, because I'm sure that no one was Johnny's friend. I may have been the closest thing to friendship he could consider, but I wasn't his friend. He was nothing but a threat every minute you stood with him. We came across him, he saw me, and you know, I went into hey Johnny, what's going on, man? And you know, he came up all aggressive like usual. I stared him down. I don't know, you know, I don't know why it always worked with me. Maybe because I wasn't so big. But Johnny was full of wrath, contention, median. Median is the Aramaic Hebrew word. It talks about strife, discord and misery, competition, conflict, and rivalry. Last night, caregiver talked about how some that we were talking about last night in the live fellowship, how they want to make it, what they're doing, into some kind of a contest. Midyan, competition and rivalry. Midyan is spelled Mem, Dalet, Yod, Nun. And it's a dark word. Mem, someone who is not being washed by and growing in the Word. Dalet, opening doors into the realms of Satan. Not the door, Yeshua. In this case, doors of darkness. Yod, focus on works. Everything's done by might and power. And Nun, the seed, in this case, the bad seed, Hashatan, Satan. So, I don't know. Last night in our live fellowship, we were talking about the tares maturing and showing their true colors with a lot of midyan, contention, rivalry, competition, anger, and you could see with our mishpacha, our family, there was no contention, no anger. There's a lot of love, compassion, and sorrow. Mostly sorrow. And with some of us, there was anger that had been corrected by the Ruach. I was happy to see. You can tell. You know, in fact, one of Yahweh's codes of wisdom is to judge. Not all people, but especially to judge those who say they're believers, and to judge them by their fruit. Look at the fruit of the Ruach. Are they displaying any of it? And the fruit, there's 9 elements to this fruit. I have a video on it. You can check it out. They're listed in order of achievement as we are washed by and growing in the Word. We will achieve step by step the various elements of the fruit of the Ruach, the Spirit. The last one listed is self-control. I've said this many times. And I like that one because you don't see many people. You don't see many people with that have self-control. And yet, if you look at the comments under last Thursday's live fellowship, you see some people talking about some of the frustrations they had, and yet they found self-control in their hearts. Not by their own doing, they'll tell you that. It's the Ruach. Maturity of the wheat, showing its or their true colors. Yeah. That's my message for this weekend's Walk in the Word, my friends. To discover shalom in your life by being washed by and growing in Yahweh's Word. The more you do that, the more you see things through the eyes of the Ruach, the less frustrated you get, the more understanding you have, and the greater ability you are given to love, comfort, encourage others. And isn't that what it's all about? Truly it is. Well, I sure have enjoyed this walk. That's it for this weekend, my friends. Until next time, keep your wicks trimmed. And keep your lamp burning bright. Elohim's mighty beracha on you and yours. Shalom, chavarim.